Hello and thank you for stopping by my channel today. Today I want to share with you Pantone's color of the year for 2024. If you don't already know what it is called Peach Fuzz. I love peach. I think that is a perfect color for spring. Peach has a nice warm undertone to it, very calming, and it's just going to add so much to a lot of the centerpieces, floral arrangements. You're going to see that in spring decor and paint colors, and you'll certainly see those in some of the weddings for 2024. And I'm using that same color as my inspiration for the floral arrangement that I'm going to put together for you today. I'm going to start out with this shallow bowl that I thrifted from Goodwill. Show you that. And then I also have a bowl that I thrifted from Goodwill as well. Now this color is like a green, almost, I'm going to call it a sage green, which I think is going to work very nicely with the peach colors. So I'm going to add that to the bowl. But first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and add just some clear room temperature water to the first vessel. And now I'm going to add my sage color bowl, and it's going to float around in there just until I add my KENZAN in there. So I'm going to use this to hold the florals as I build up on this floral arrangement. Now it does have a little bit of weight to it, so when I put it down in there, that bowl is going to stay put. The florals that I'm using for this, I'm using some hydrangeas, got some beautiful white full ones over here. I've got some white roses. I have some white stock. I have some white stock. I'm also using ALSTROEMERIA, one of my favorite flowers. I use it a lot because it's readily available. It's something that you could get at your local grocery store, and the colors are just gorgeous. It fills out nicely, has some real nice greenery in there that helps to fill in a floral arrangement. And as you can see, it has a very nice peach tone, orange tone colors to it. And this again is my inspiration for this floral arrangement. First thing I'm going to add to this is going to be some baby's breath. I've got plenty of that, and what I want to do with the baby's breath is just like I do with my tablescapes, is I just want to layer some of that baby's breath right down in there, and I'm going to turn it so you can see it, and then I'm going to add some more. And I'm getting it right down in there in that water. Adding some more in there. And then I'm going to add a few more pieces. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay. The next thing I want to add to this is a few of these hydrangeas. Nice, pretty, full hydrangeas. And I'm just going to clip it right about there. Dip it in some of the water, and then dip it in some alum powder. And I just want to place it just like so. Since these are quite big, I can actually go ahead and split them. I'm pulling off any of the brown spots that are in there, dipping it in water and then alum powder, and then right in here. See how nice and full that's getting? Now I'm going to use one more piece. Make sure I get the leaves off so they don't end up in the water, and you know what happens after that. Now it's time to start working on arranging the flowers in the KENZAN that's in that green bowl. I'm going to use some real pretty off-white roses for this. And I've cut them, kind of staggered them, and that's going to be part of the design that I am doing with this floral arrangement. I'm going to take those out, and while they were waiting, I had them hydrating in a solution of water, warm water, some bleach, and just a little bit of sugar. Now for this, I'm just going to pour this right up until the water just comes right over the tips of the KENZAN, and I'm ready to start designing. So I'm going to start with my very first, the tallest one, is I'm going to stagger them. And you can see how the flowers are starting to kind of wrap around and stagger. I've got one last one that I'm going to add right here. Pushing that right down in there. And now I can start with my ALSTROEMERIA. So my ALSTROEMERIA is going to help fill a lot of this space in. So I'm just going to add that right down into the KENZAN. And it's going to hold my florals in place too. Now I could go ahead and maybe wrap them, but I'm thinking that because I'm adding so many florals in here, that it's going to help hold these tall flowers in place. And I got another piece of ALSTROEMERIA that I'm going to add down in there. And you see how it's starting to fill it up in there, and it's also holding my roses in place for me. So kind of a double duty for my ALSTROEMERIAs on this one. I have some stock that I want to add to this too, that's been over here just kind of hydrating just a little bit. That I'm using, I've had for a few days, and I wanted to still be able to use them to design with them versus getting rid of them. So I want to make sure that I pinch off any of the old flowers on there that might be starting to turn, and then I've already clipped them so they're good, and getting some of the leaves off of there. So this is a way to extend the life of your bouquets that you get. Save your flowers and use them in another design like this. I have just a few more pieces of floral that I'm going to add to this. Another piece of this beautiful peach color ALSTROEMERIA. I'm going to add that into the back, and I cut it down to size so that it will fit, and I'm just going to push it right down in the back, finding a spot on this KENZAN and just pushing it right in there. And you can see how that's starting to come around. Now I'm just going to add a few more pieces to this, and then I think I'm going to be done with this one. Add another piece of the hydrangea so it'll fill in a spot right around here. And that's going to make it nice and fluffy in there. And I did go ahead and add another rose right down at the bottom. So I have a half dozen roses in this arrangement. To add some baby's breath down in there on the side. I'm going to turn around so you can see how that looks. And then I'm going to add a few more pieces. And I think we can count this one done. I think it turned out really nice. Just gorgeous with the off-white, the green that comes from the greenery on this piece, and then that nice calming peach color that I have up there in the ALSTROEMERIA. One more piece right over here, and We are all done. So this is how it turns out. I hope that you like this. I'm going to turn this just very slowly so you can get a good chance to see all of the flowers that I have in there. The huge fluffy hydrangea in there, the stock, the baby's breath, the beautiful peach color that is the color for 2024 is also in there, and then the roses that I used to create this floral arrangement. Subscribe and come back to my channel for more of my fun with florals for 2024. Well, thank you for joining me once again, and as I always say, whatever you do and wherever you go, be blessed.